Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday, May the 20th. Captain Marty here. Talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the fishing world, and there's quite a bit going on. A little bit hot, a little bit cold, depending on where you're at, but I'll be back to give you a full update in just a moment.
Clint Godwin, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in Manteo, can help you find the right insurance coverage for your needs. Whether it be home, car, life, or health insurance, Clint will go to work for you to make sure that you're well taken care of. Trust me, I know from personal experience. Call Clint today at 473-2119 or swing by and pay him a visit at his office in Manteo. He'd love to see you. Clint Godwin, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent that's ready to go to work for you. Real. That's the first word that comes to mind when I think about Outland Seafood in Mans Harbor. Yeah, they're the first and last place you see coming to and leaving the Outer Banks on Highway 64 in Dare County, but they're also real when it comes to fresh local seafood. Troy Outland, real. Curtis and Josh, real. The indoor crab shedders, real. Stop by and see for yourself right next to White Shopping Center and check them out on social media. Outland Seafood in Mans Harbor, real.
We start off talking about Hatteras, and I just came back, spent a nice week down there, really enjoyed myself. My old friend Bull Tolson on the Sea Toy. Now, Bull was one of the first mates I met when I showed up there in 1975, and he was just a kid too. He was like 14, but really helped me learn the ropes. He was a prodigy really when it came to fishing, one of the few truly gifted fishermen I've ever met. But he spent a big part of his career at Oregon Inlet after starting out down in Hatteras. But he's back down there. He was back down there for the Hatteras Village Offshore Open and stayed for a few days with the good fishing. And yesterday he went 4 for 7 on blue marlin. In other words, saw 7 blue marlin, saw or hooked 7, and released 4 of them. And that was a good day for Captain Bull. The rest of the crowd down there is having a good blue marlin bite as well. I know Ron Whitaker, I think, caught 2 maybe yesterday, and there's a lot of them being seen as we witnessed all through the tournament last week. Now, inshore fishing, they're catching some drum, they're catching some bluefish, and they're doing a little bit of bottom fishing as well. They also are, between the inshore and the offshore, they're doing pretty good on some days on blackfin tuna. So, as you can tell, fishing is it's not a gimme. You got to work at it, you got to be versatile, and you got to be able to fish for just about anything. Same thing was true for the Oregon Inlet fleet offshore, which they had hot and cold, which is our theme today. A little bit on the scrappy side for some. I saw a lot of bottom fishing going on. That's always it's a good fallback because what you catch is some of the best eating fish in the ocean, but it's also a sign that the tuna and the mahi were not biting. Although we did have some big eye tunas in the catches yesterday. The big eyes are bigger than yellowfin, so it goes kind of like this, starting on the small end. The blackfin tuna, 15 to 25 pounds. The yellowfin tuna, 30 to 100 pounds. The big eye tuna, generally speaking, 80 to 250 pounds, and the bluefin tuna, the giants, could be 50 pounds to 1,000 pounds. So yesterday, a few big eyes were caught in the Oregon Inlet fleet, along with all those bottom fish and a few gaffer dolphin. Inshore, they had a good day. Again, it's not as hot as it was cobia fishing, but they're still catching them. And so there was a good cobia bite. Maybe, like I said, it cooled off a little bit, but there's also some bluefish being caught. And they continue, both of our inshore fleets, Hatteras and Oregon Inlet, continue to run into some drum. Sometimes puppy drum, sometimes schools of big drum that are just roaming around near the beach or a few miles offshore. And they're doing some catch and release fishing there. On the piers, a little bit of activity, same kind of thing, hot and cold. Jeanette's Pier, I did see a really good day, another really good day on the sheephead fishing. You probably listen to me every day. You know we talk about them a lot. Also some scattered bluefish, some bonitas, and some Spanish mackerel. I got a report on Avalon Pier, blues, Spanish, and sheephead. Tony Lombardi from WalkingAngler.com, who helps me with the pier and surf report, just reports that it's hit and miss. You know, like the sea mullet, for instance. You might go have a bite like they've been having down on the beach in Rodanthe and be thrilled to death, or in Avon, but then you might be down at, let's say, Cape Point and never get a sea mullet bite. So it's just a matter of putting in your time this time of year. We'll take a little break right here, and I'll be back to tell you what I do have as far as backcountry fishing.
Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village is the closest spot on the Outer Banks to the Gulf Stream. Just inside Hatteras Inlet, Teachers Lair is fully loaded with bait, tackle, ice, snacks, and drinks for your fun-filled day out on the water. Want to get rigged up to catch the big one? Lee and the gang in the tackle shop can outfit you to catch whatever is eager to get hooked. To see the marina, the tackle shop, or to book a charter, go online to teacheslair.com. Teaches Lair Marina in Hatteras Village. Your fishing venture awaits.
The backcountry has been producing on pretty much every area. Remember how we started a month ago? It was mostly the Western Sound. Now we're seeing good fishing in the Sound, whether you're back of Ocracoke or Hatteras, whether you're south of Wanchese and Roanoke Island, or whether you're over towards Swan Quarterway and Englehart fishing and right on down to Belhaven fishing the western rim of the Pamlico Sound. We are speaking mostly about the Pamlico Sound. That sound, by the way, is 120 miles long, 30 miles across, and it's an ocean in itself. They call it a sound. It's really it's fed by several things, but that would include 3 major inlets, Ocracoke, Hatteras, and Oregon Inlet, and then all the estuaries and the Neuse River and things like that come out from the western side. But it's a good place to fish, and right now the speckled trout and gray trout bite is good, which is encouraging. They're also catching puppy drum, they're catching some bluefish, and a little bit, every once in a while, a flounder, but you got to throw them back. The flounder season's still closed, but it is encouraging to see some of the flounder that I've seen in the reports here lately. So not much changed on that front. This is the time of year when you're liable to catch anything, whether you're inshore or offshore. And I would encourage you, if you're using bait, one little tip. I like to try to leave you with one tip every day. Bait meaning if you're using a natural bait, mullet, shrimp, a crab, whatever, something other than synthetic bait or artificial bait, you really need to go in and see your local tackle shops, and you'll notice they all carry fresh bait, especially fresh mullet for that drum fishing, because, as I often say, if your bait is more than 12 hours old, it's lost half of its effectiveness. So they go to a lot of trouble to get fresh bait every morning at daylight, and that's what you want to get. And trust me, you'll increase your catches. You'll double them over what you would do with a piece of frozen mullet or something frozen. Sometimes you don't have any choice and you have to use frozen, but let me tell you, the fresh is the way to go. So make that a big part of your mission, is to go somewhere that has really good fresh mullet. Shrimp a little bit later on, we'll have a lot of fresh shrimp as well, but not quite yet. Anyway, that's our whole fishing report for you. We have a little 6-boat tournament going on at Pirates Cove today that Twitty Real Estate is hosting. I'll be over there for that at the scales this afternoon if you want to stop by. Otherwise, be careful on the roads, be careful on the water, and have a blessed day.